Hello sweet loves and welcome to my channel. I'm Carolina Jimena of Authentic Souls Club, and today I'm going to be walking through exactly what you can expect from my channel. If you want to be a part of Authentic Souls Club, all you got to do is hit that little subscribe button and you're in. But if you want to thrive in Authentic Souls Club, then I highly recommend you come with me on this journey, take inspiration from my teachings, and learn how to translate the human design language into your life so that you can feel more authentic and make your life feel easier. Let's talk about who I am, because I feel like that's a really loaded question. And to be completely honest, something that I feel like I've struggled to answer for the better part of my life. Because something that I've always innately known is that we are such complex creatures. We're so beautifully unique and beautifully different. And when people respond with, their job title or whatnot, it always makes me a little bit sad, because you are a sum of all of your parts. You are everything that makes you who you are. You are not just your job. You are not just your ethnicity. You are not just your sexual orientation. You are not just your hobbies. You are not just any of those things. You are all of those things. So I really feel like, well, who are you is such a loaded question. And I'm going to start with my title, because that's what we're so used to, our careers and our jobs. So I'm a human design facilitator. I facilitate my clients on their human design experiment, on their human design journey, and really helping them translate and experiment with the human design language and how it can actually benefit their life. But I'm also a CrossFitter. I'm also a cat mom and a dog mom. I'm also a biracial queer. I'm also a Hufflepuff. I'm also an Aries. I am also Canadian. All of these things. But at the end of the day, I'm Carolina. And I think that's the only labeling factor I really identify with, to be completely honest. I haven't always been a CrossFitter. I haven't always been a dog mom. I haven't always been those things, but the one thing that I've always been is me. That's what this channel is all about. This channel is about deconditioning the bullshit that society tells us we have to do or puts us inside of these boxes. I am here to bust open the box. I am here to be fearlessly authentic and to help others feel more authentic in their souls and in their journey. Okay, now let's talk about what I do. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm a human design facilitator, and if you really want a robust breakdown, I made a video walking through exactly that process, which you can watch by clicking the little button that's going to magically appear here. But to give you a quick little snapshot, what I do at the root of it is, like I mentioned earlier, I help people feel more authentic and really give themselves permission to be who they are using their human design. And that first starts with building a really solid foundational understanding of what human design is, what your human design says about you, and have a foundational understanding of what makes you who you are, and then translating that into how it actually shows up in your life. Because we are human. We are not perfect creatures, which is what makes us so beautiful and makes us so interesting and makes us so fascinating. But we do have margin for error. We do have our internal biases. We do have certain factors in our life that influence how we interpret things. So how one thing in human design might be interpreted, it might not resonate with everybody. So what we need to do is we need to actually take that step and translate into, okay, this is what historically this piece of information of human design is meant. How does this actually translate into my life? How does it actually show up in my life? And then the most important part of it is actually experimenting with that translation, experimenting with our findings to seeing how it actually shows up in your life. You might think something shows up one way when we're translating the information, but once you actually start playing, once you actually start to experiment with it and start making really positive changes into your life and seeing how things can feel more easy and things can feel more in alignment and things can feel more authentic, that's where the magic magic really happens. So that's essentially what I do, is I help translate the human design language into everyday life, into real life, so that human design can actually be a tool that we use to really help transform our lives. Now, a caveat I always like to give when talking about human design is that human design is not a be-all and end-all. Human design is not meant to put us in a box. As I mentioned earlier, I don't like boxes. I don't like labels. I don't like being restricted or confined into these two-dimensional ideologies or shapes or whatever it is that resonates with you. The way that I use human design is that it doesn't tell us what we can or we can't do. It doesn't give us limitations. It doesn't place limitations on us. What I really enjoy about human design and how I've interpreted human design and how I use human design is that it gives us awareness into the how we are more aligned to do something. How are you able to do this best, so that you're not struggling to figure it out or forcing yourself to do something, when if we just shifted it over here, it would be a lot more easy. It would feel a lot more easy because it's actually in alignment with your design. So that's what I really thrive in, and that's what I really do in its simplest form. Now let's talk about what you can actually expect to see and find on my channel. So of course I'm going to talk about things human design and human design related, and human design is going to filter in the other categories that I'm also going to be talking about as well. Like I mentioned earlier, we do need a solid foundation of understanding of what human design is and what certain things mean in human design. So obviously I'm going to be giving that foundation, but really where my zone of genius is translating that human design language into actual everyday life. So that's really what you're going to see on this channel, and again mixed into the other categories as well. I'm also going to be talking about self-improvement. So anything that I find that benefits my life, whether it's a new meditation or some kind of habit tracker or whatever that looks like, anything that I find that benefits my life, I always want to share with my community, because I'm like, hey, this really helped me. This really helped make my life easier. This is how it relates to my human design chart. Let's see if you can find a way for this to kind of transform into your life to help you make your life easier. I'm also going to be sharing some planning tips and tricks. So I am an avid planner. I excel at organization. One of my key skills in human design in my channel 360 is bringing order to chaos. And so having that gift in my human design chart, I can really see that play out when I'm organizing things, when I'm planning things. And people are always curious to see how I organize myself, how I set up my planner and all of that kind of stuff. And again, I'm going to be sprinkling in human design knowledge and why this works for me and my human design chart. And then lastly, I'm going to be posting different product reviews, because again, I always love to share when things really benefit me, because I believe in collaboration. I believe in community. I don't believe in competition. I believe there is enough for everyone, and I believe the reason why we have such scarcity is because the energy of our world is out of alignment, because too many people are trying to be something that they're actually not. And so that is my mission, to help as many souls as I come in contact with to reconnect to their authentic soul and to do what's right for them, because that's eventually going to make the world a better, more loving place and a more inclusive place when we start to recognize our differences are what make us beautiful, and when we work together, that's how the world becomes a better place. So why did I choose those categories to post on my channel? First and foremost, human design has absolutely changed my life. That still feels so dramatic saying it like that, but it still feels like such an understatement. And it's transformed so many of my clients and my friends and my relationship with my family. Like anything and everything has benefited from human design being introduced into my life. And again, not using it as this be all and end all, but really using it as a tool to bring awareness to how my energy works, but also to bring awareness into how my loved ones work and how to appreciate what makes them different and how they operate and how they were designed to do things. I feel like we get so wrapped up in this notion that we expect people to do things the way we need them to be done or the way that really benefits or resonates with us. The thing is, we can't be treating people the way we want to be treated or the way we expect to be treated. We need to be treating people the way they need to be treated, in the way that honors their energy. Now, when it comes to self-improvement and personal development, the fact of the matter is we are ever evolving creatures, and if we don't make being proactive a priority, then we're regressing. If we're not making progress forward, if we're not catching up with our evolution, if we're not catching up with ourselves, if we're not catching up with that growth, we're regressing. We need to continue moving forward and making ourselves better and making the world better. Whenever I find something that works for me, I want to share that with my community. I always get people messaging me on Instagram like, oh, how did you like this? Or where did you find that? Or can you walk me through your routine and how you do this and X, Y, and Z? So my community on Instagram and hopefully now on YouTube has really learned to trust me and has really learned to trust that I'm not going to promote something that I hate or that I don't believe in. I'm not going to suggest to do something that I myself haven't tried. And even if something doesn't necessarily work for me, I still might put it out there so that you can make your own decision. Because again, I don't believe that just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it's not going to work for somebody else. And then lastly, planning is because I love planning. I have been an avid planner since I was 7 years old, so the better part of my entire life. And it's something that provides me with a lot of joy. It is a hobby of mine, but also allows me the opportunity to get a lot of things done and to really feel on top of things. And again, I've had a lot of people in my Instagram community ask me to walk them through my planner or to walk them through my organization or walk them through my processes and how I really make my life seem easy. And I mean, it is easy. Obviously, social media, you get the kind of the highlight reel. I really try my best to be real and authentic and to show all sides of it, not just the good. But as much as I try to be vulnerable and upfront and very transparent, there's always going to be some level of highlight reel. And that's just the truth, that's just the reality, and I'm being very honest and upfront about that. So although my life feels really easy and it seems really easy, especially watching it through a computer lens or a phone lens, there are times where it's hard, there are times where I struggle, but the more I become in tune with my energy, the more I start to surrender to the process, the more that I start to really honor my energy and do what's right for me, the faster I'm able to move through those moments of struggle. And I think that's what the real goal is. And that's really what I'm trying to accomplish here by helping people make their life easier. It's not that I'm actually making your life easier or helping you make your life easier. I'm just helping make your life feel easier. There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be negativity. There's always going to be hardships and struggle, and that's inevitable. But how do we move through it? What do we make it mean? That's where the magic really lies, and that's really where I'm doing the work. And where I really want you to do the work is how can we make those blips, let's call them, in the radar smaller and smaller and smaller so that they still teach us what they're meant to teach us, but then we can move through them and it has that ease factor in it. So there we have it, authentic souls. That is what you can expect from my channel. If you have something that you really want to see, please pop it in the comments below. Like I said, I am here to be of service. If you have any questions, if you want to see something, definitely let me know. I would love to hear what you want to see from me and where you want to see this channel go and what you really are needing help with. So like I said at the very beginning, if you want to be part of Authentic Souls, all you have to do is hit that little subscribe button below, and you can hit the little bell if you want to be notified of when a new video is posted. And again, like I said at the beginning, if you really want to thrive in Authentic Souls Club, come with me on this journey and make sure that you are doing the work necessary to feel more authentic, reconnect with your authentic soul, and to make your life feel easier. I'm going off on a tangent here.
Are you going to end up the star of my channel?
Who am I? That's a secret I'll never tell. Nope. Let's start over.